So I've been asked many times throughout the years, why CrossFit, and why do you do CrossFit? Um, the answer is the simple, short answer is the same every time. CrossFit saved my life. Uh, Allow me to dive deeper into this and give you guys this full story. So buckle up, hang on. This one's a bumpy ride. Uh, So one time in my distant past, I was afforded the opportunity to play college football. It was a small technical school in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. You may have heard of it, the Air Force Academy. Well, I played college football there, and I was a linebacker. In my time there, I was a 250-pound guided missile with a bad attitude. Um, and I love football. I love the contact. I love the camaraderie. I love the collisions. I especially loved my time in the weight room. I really enjoyed the strength and conditioning portion of football, and that passion led me here to CrossFit and strength and conditioning and coaching, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't let me fool you. I'm at best I'm a has-been that never was. I may have clawed my way up at the best at third on the depth chart, but it didn't change my passion for the game. It didn't change my love for strength and conditioning and football in general. But as time goes on, I graduated from the academy in 2003. In that same year, Mandy graduated from the Ohio State University, and shortly after we were married. Shortly after our marriage, we moved to Oklahoma. Air Force sent us to Oklahoma, where I learned how to fly. My day-to-day job was pretty cool. I was getting paid to learn how to fly upside down and do aerobatics in airplanes. Pretty neat experience. And if you've ever met young student pilots, they'll tell you right away how awesome they are, and the zipper-suited sun gods. And if they haven't told you, just wait a second, they'll tell you. But we loved Oklahoma. We enjoyed getting out and enjoying the countryside and the plains of Oklahoma on our motorcycle. Andy and I would take weekend rides, and it was a great chance for us just to get away and get out and explore Oklahoma. One lazy Sunday in 2004, we were out riding a motorcycle, and our day was cut short pretty quickly. A sedan cut across 4 lanes of traffic and hit us. In essence, highway speeds and motorcycles and accidents, when they mix, it's bad news. And bad news happened right away. Pretty traumatic accident. My memory is spotty at best, but I can pull out some of them. What happened, Mandy was sent to one hospital, and I was sent to a different. She had some pretty serious injuries in her ankle. She had a pretty gnarly concussion and some cuts through her eyebrow. But for me, my right leg was pretty much destroyed. Broke the tibia and fibula, severely dislocated the ankle, and lost all the cartilage in and around the ankle joint. This started us on a year journey in and out of the hospital. I ultimately had 7 surgeries to repair my right leg. Spent the year either on my back on the couch or in a wheelchair. A couple of quick graphic shots here. There's me in the hospital with bars and things sticking in and out of my leg. Another one, I'll just show you one. Yeah, pretty ugly, pretty graphic stuff. If you really want to know more, I'll share with you. We have a great photo album of it and dig in, but that's the extent for it for now. Again, a year in and out of the hospital, I had 7 surgeries to put my leg back together, which ultimately ended in a total ankle fusion. If you haven't seen it, I can barely wiggle my toes on my right leg. Pretty humbling and challenging. It was pretty dark time for me. I felt like my identity was stripped away. I used to do this. I used to do that. I was a college football player. I was an athlete my whole life, and very quickly, depression and darkness took hold, and this downward spiral of I can't took over. I can't do this, I can't do that. I had to be helped into a wheelchair. I had to be helped into the car. I couldn't do things on my own. I wasn't active, and I couldn't be active. So that 250-pound guided missile was gone, but the bad attitude came back in full force. Again, throughout that year, on and off pain medicine and way too many peanut M&Ms to count. Fitness took a back seat, and things deteriorated. But as life moves on, I did recover. At the year point exactly was when I was allowed to first put weight back on my leg and ankle. I was able to stand up for the first time, and it was at a year mark. I learned to walk again, learned to sort of run again, and got back into flight school. So the Air Force allowed me to finish out flight training, which was great. It was amazing. Earned my wings, and then the Air Force sent us off to Barksdale, Louisiana, home of the B-52. As I continued flying, made some really, really close friends in the bomb squadrons. Some of those close friends were big fitness junkies at the time, and they knew my past. They knew that I played college football, a long time ago. But they wanted to know about the strength and conditioning and the off-season workouts and the speed work we would do and all those things. And I may be known to embellish a story or two here or there, and I may have made the early 2000s Fighting Falcons sound like the 300 brave Spartans from antiquity. So I may have told or stretched the tale of how great we were. But needless to say, they wanted to learn, and so I wanted to teach them. I would show or tell. I didn't really demo things or show things. I could tell them how to do things, but it was the early stages of strength and conditioning in teaching. They kept asking for more and pulling for more and saying, well, can you show us this? Can you try this and do that? And then that spark, that little word, I'll try, changed everything. From I can't, to this mindset shift of I'll try. And once I started trying, that spark was set, and that set things on fire. I'll try led to one thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. I'll try got me to try to jump again, try to run again, try to lift things, not just bicep curls and bench presses, but Olympic weightlifting, cleans, presses, squats, trying something new. This was probably 2009, early 2009, and CrossFit was not mainstream. Functional fitness was not everywhere. We were in a base gym, like a typical Globo gym, some machines over here, some free weights over there. We were trying to do more and more and more, and just excited to try to set up circuits and push our strength and conditioning. We'd set some weights up here in the corner, some things over, maybe a box over in that corner, and we'd run back and forth on these circuits, all yelling, hey, we're still on that, we're still using that over there, trying to push each other for more and more and more to see who would give up or who would puke. Kind of comical. One day we crashed in a corner and collapsed laughing about, man, that was horrible, what are we going to try tomorrow? And someone walked past us saying, you guys doing CrossFit? After never hearing about CrossFit before, our interest was piqued. Went to the website CrossFit.com for the first time, saw this bare bones blog with seemingly simple workouts, right? And as you guys know, a simple workout is punishing and crushing. And from then on, CrossFit was born. We did more and more CrossFit. To eventually, we pulled the minivan out of my garage, started putting equipment in, and before and after work, we were showing up at my house, hitting the CrossFit.com workout, and then trying those new skills of handstands and kipping pull-ups and what the heck is a muscle up. more and more things. All the while this is going on, I'm learning, I'm adapting, I'm trying new things, and it's going great. I'm tracking my workouts, and I'm noticing my strength numbers are starting to deteriorate. I'm not keeping up in the workouts with my buddies, which, yes, I just learned to walk again recently. I just learned to jump again recently, and sure, I'm getting older, but my numbers were falling off fast, and my logbook was showcasing this. I knew something was wrong. I'd go to the doctors, and I could pass whatever screening test they were trying to put me through because I was pretty strong and I was pretty fit. We didn't know what was happening. But I knew my numbers were slowly deteriorating, and I couldn't walk really well anymore. It came to the point to where if I wasn't on a smooth paved surface, I would just stumble and fall. I couldn't jump onto a 45-pound plate. That was too high for me to jump onto. So things were scary. I had a good friend who was a doctor, and he worked out with us as well. And he saw me one day walking up a flight of stairs using the handrails as parallel bars, which is a cool CrossFit trick, but I was doing it so I wouldn't fall down. He set me up to get an MRI of my spine, realizing there might be something wrong. Long story short, I had severe spinal cord damage in my neck due to 2 discs. The discs were ultimately removed, and I had a cervical spinal fusion. I had C5 to 7 fused as well in my neck after the discs were removed. This after the surgery and recovery, this led to, we could finally figure out the extent of the damage, and I never got 100% back. Some days I'm able to walk and run. Some days are better than others. And then some days my balance is horrible, and I have to really concentrate on where I'm standing, where I'm walking, and how I'm going. But I have been able to recover, adapt, and overcome. I'd say the biggest shift now in CrossFit as I've come back and I've adapted from these traumatic surgeries has been between my ears, and this mindset of no longer what can't I do to, well, I'll try and I'll adapt and I'll overcome. It's amazing for me. I consider a blessing every day that I can come into the gym and work out. I try to make 4 or 5 workouts a week, and just to stay active. It keeps me upright. It keeps me going. Some days are better than others. I've had traumatic injuries in my past. I've had quite a few, but those no longer define me. It doesn't define me if this is what, that injury doesn't define me. And I have no delusions that college football player, that guided missile coming back, that's not me either. What I'm defined myself of being able to stay active, be able to stay upright on my feet, and to keep trying and doing new things. That mental shift was the big lifesaver. No longer am I at the bottom in despair. I've been able to physically and mentally take on new challenges every day. I'm not going to run a 4.640, and I'm not going to keep up with the 20-year-olds anymore. But each day I can try something, I can do something, and I can adapt and I can overcome. So it's needless to say, CrossFit has saved my life.